James Borland a while ago said, haven't seen much of the show, but I don't care who plays Doctor Who or if the Doctor's a male or a female. The Doctor needs to have charisma. When Doctor Who is fun, then we have fun. James, I don't know if you've been watching, but the new Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, is awesome. He's really, really he has charisma in spades, and it's honestly the best the show's been since David Tennant left. My wife and
I love the Ncuti Gatwa era. The last Doctor I liked was Matt Smith. To put into perspective,
I liked Matt Smith too, but I only liked half of his run. I kind of felt like I didn't like
it when Clara came on.
Yeah.
I loved Amy and Rory, but I didn't really like it when Clara came on.
The Amy years were awesome, but then the show, when Clara was like the death knell for Doctor Who.
Yes.
I have not enjoyed Doctor Who this much since like season 5 or 6 of Matt Smith, and as much as I liked Matt Smith, I like Tennant better, and I like Ncuti Gatwa better than Matt Smith. So I like Matt Smith, but I have not enjoyed this show this much since Tennant left. And by the way, I know Perp's gone, but Perp and I are always going on about the disingenuous BS. If you look at a lot of the online nonsense, people are like, well, we used to like Russell T Davies, but he went woke and he's pushing agendas now. If you make that claim, you did not watch the show under his first run. Captain Jack basically wanted to have sex with everybody. Like, I mean, he just male, female. He didn't care. He didn't care if it was a washing machine. He just wanted to have sex with you.
It's not that they only didn't watch Doctor Who. They also never watched Torchwood.
Exactly. But you know what? The difference is, social media wasn't quite as big back then. I always say social media was the death knell, because these things, they're not necessarily true, but they get repeated enough on social media and people believe them. The show was the show is no more woke now than it was under the first run of Russell T Davies. But unfortunately, back then we didn't have guys like old beardy Gary telling us what to think. So we just had to figure it out for ourselves. And guess what? We did much better then.
Cool. So. Thank God he isn't talking about me. I've only got a goatee.
Oh yeah, no, not you. No, I mean, Gary, who can't say the word diversity without saying it in a 80s faux gay voice.
I was someone I didn't really care for the 60th anniversary specials, but I love the Ncuti Gatwa era.
I don't know. No, I've been on board since the moment Tennant came. And you know what? Jodie Whittaker, poor Jodie Whittaker. She never had a shot. Because
I think the worst aspect of Jodie Whittaker was that she was just doing an impression of David Tennant.
Well, I think that she had she came in under a bad showrunner, and there were bad scripts, and people are always going to be like, oh, remember when Doctor Who was a woman? That sucked. And you know what? The sad thing is people are kind of right, but it wasn't Jodie Whittaker's fault.
That was Chibnall.
Yeah, I really
Chris Chibnall.
I kind of wish Jodie Whittaker had stayed on for another year under Russell T Davies. I would have liked to have seen what she could do with a better writer.
But to be fair, when they brought back David Tennant, the ratings for Doctor Who were on the decline, and they needed Tennant to come back and save them.
Well,
especially after The Timeless Children came out and basically retconned the entire history of the Doctor.
Yeah, and people got too upset about that too, because it was unnecessary. It didn't need to be done. But ultimately, there were people who were like, we're never going to watch Doctor Who unless you say that the Timeless Child never happened. And it's like, it doesn't matter.
I remember.
All you got to do is tell a good story. Just tell a good story. I don't care what his origin is. Put him in a good story, and I'm there.
I remember when the fan base got excited for Russell T Davies' return, and they were asking him, are you going to retcon The Timeless Children? And he said no. And this was over a year before the 60th anniversary specials came out?
That was a smart move, though. I gotta say, I respect that, because it's like you're going to come in. It's a bad look it's a bad look to come in and say, I'm going to come in and the first thing I'm going to do is
retcon all the prior guys' stuff.
Yeah, like I mean, it feels disrespectful. So
I mean that would remind. Do you remember the episode? Do you remember The Simpsons? Do you remember still this episode when they showed like their version of Star Wars Episode 7? It's like through a time rift, episodes 1, 2, and 3 never happened, and everyone in the backyard's like cheering, and then you have Sideshow Mel stand up. My childhood has been restored.
Oh boy.